चलिए आज 8 क्लास का 11 चैप्टर फोर्स एंड प्रेशर चैप्टर 11th in class 6 you have learned how objects move. Do you recall how we can decide whether an object is moving faster than the other? What does the distance moved by an object in unit time indicate? You also that a moving object like a ball rolling on the ground slow down. Sometimes it may change its direction of motion. It is also possible that the ball may slow down and also change its direction. How you ever wondered what makes an object slow down or go faster or change its direction of motion? Let us recall some of our everyday experience. What do you make a football move? What do you do to make a moving ball move faster? How does a goalkeeper stop a ball? A hockey player changes the direction of moving ball with a flick of the stick. How do fielders stop a ball hit by a batsman? In all these situations, our ball is either made to move faster or slower, or if the direction of motion is changed. Direction of motion is changed. We often visual force has been applied a ball when the kicked and pushed through legged after the force. What different bodies with applied or keeper in the option. Force push and push or pull. Action like picking, opening, expression kicking, hiking, lifting, flicking, pushing is often used to describe certain tasks. Usually result in some kinds of change in the state of motion of an object. Can these terms be replaced with one or more terms? Let us find a goalkeeper saving a goal, hockey player making red, and a fielder stopping a balls. Do you notice that other action can be called a pull and push? For inflection, move object with the push, pull, and for science, push or pull an object is called force. Push or pull, thus we can say motion improved object due to the action of pull and motive. Force are due to an interaction purpose. The man is standing behind the stationary car. We will car move down to his presence. Suppose the move now begins to push the car. A man is standing behind the stationary car. A car behind the push man. Direction apply the force. Direction apply the force. Will not have the apply push move. See three situations that may be familiar to you. Can you decide who is pushing and who is pushing with these chairs? Both the girls appear to push and the other one. The pair of girls in trying to push each other. Similarly, now cow the and the man and keeper event pull push others. The girls in the two situations shown here are applied force and others. It is also true for the man and the cow. For this example, we can infer that the least object must interact force least object to the must interact for the force come to it. Thus, the interaction of the object and other object result to the force of the two objects. I began even a tough war game. The team of pull opposite direction with number of pulls. Rope of the direction. Some ropes or similarly does not move similarly. And the situation so figure there are situations to push harder applied or the larger win the wins game. Do you example suggest about the nature of the force applied of the object in the same direction at another now recall the happening of the direction. If the two objects are opposite direction of the object near the intention difference between two the object force, what will the observe activity of the object pushing force in the direction? the of the war when the terms are really hard and the rope of the personal direction. Now force and all the larger than smaller and the other the strength of the force will express the magnitude. I have also a specific direction which a force acts also direction magnitude. The applied force change of the general modes is an object of force. Force can change the state of motion. Let us find the phenomenon. You might recall smaller situations. For example, while tasking for penalty kick of football, player applied for a force on a ball before being hit. The ball was the rest and so applied was zero. Then applied force to make the ball move towards the goal. Suppose the goalkeeper was to jump to receive the goal by the action and goalkeeper applies the force of moving the ball. The force applied by him can stop or deflect the ball, saving the goalkeeper stopped. If the goalkeeper succeeds in stopping the ball, start decrease to the zero. Speed decrease to zero. This observation suggests that the force applied on the object may change its speed with force applied on the object to direction of the motion. Its speeds the object increase. The force applied the direction opposite to the direction of the motion result decrease in the speed of the object. Speed of the object. Let us consider some more examples. In a game, volleyball player often push and a volleyball up to the team mates until the winning. Some balls are turned other on the court by the pushing. Crickets of a batsman to the outside applying force of the theory change of the direction. Motion balls of this case, this example speeds direction of the moving the ball to the change application of the force and the few application times. The change in either speed of the objects, direction of the motion, both change of the state of the motion, change the state of the motion of the objects. State motion of the object describes the speed and the direction of the motion. Speed and direction. The state rest consider the zero. Rest पे zero होगा speed में rest in the motion there are both states. Does mean the application of the force would always result in the change in the state of motion of the object. Let us find it. Do you mean it can? That is common experience that many at time application of force does not result in a change in the state of motion. For example, a heavy box may not move at that you can expect. Again, no effects of force is observed when you try to push a wall. The force and the shape on the object. What do you conclude for the observation of the interest table? What happened when you apply to force an inflated balloon by passing it to the plane? What happened when the shape of the ball or dot when they roll to make the chapati? What happened when you press the rubber ball placed on the table? In all these examples of the same application of force on an object application of the same having performed at all the above activities with related force may make an object move from rest may change the speed of an object may change the direction of the motion an object may bring about the change of the shape and the object may for the sum of the effect. While force may cause one or more of these effects, it is important to remember some none of these actions can be take place without action force. The object cannot move by itself, cannot change speed by itself, it cannot change the direction by itself, and the self can change the contact force. Contact force, muscular force. Can you pull the table without touching? You can lift a bucket with water without holding it. Generally, apply the force on object. Your body has to the contact with the object. Contact with the object. Contact may be also the help of stick piece of the rope. When push with an object like a school bag or lift the bucket of water. Where does the force come from? This force causes action muscles of the body. The force resulting in the reaction of the muscle known as muscular force. It is a muscular force that enables to perform all activities involving movement, belonging, bending our body. In the classes, we have the process of digestion of the food get pushed through the alimentary canal. Muscular force does not it also lungs expand to the contract while inhale and exhale during breathing, where the are the muscular muscles located which make breathing possible. You can reach the muscular body. Animals also make use muscular force to carry out their physical activities and other tasks. Animals like the bullocks, horse, donkeys, and camels are used to perform various tasks for us. Performing these tasks use the muscular force. Muscular force animal used to carry moving difficult tasks. Muscular force जो since muscular force can be applied muscular force को contact force कहते हैं when it is contact with the object it is also contact force there is type of contact force later friction भी contact force recall some of your experience a ball rolling ground gradually slow down the finally comes to rest है ना कोई बॉल जो है घूमते घूमते एक समय पे ऐसा आता है कि वो रेस्ट पे आ जाता है रुक जाता है व्हेन वी स्टॉप डिपेंडिंग बाईसाइकिल gradually slow down to come to the stop a car or scooter also come to rest come once the engine switch off similarly boat come to rest if the stop throwing it can have more and experience it situation no force appears to acting on the object yet their speed gradually decreases speed जो उनका gradually decreases and there come rest to some time what cause change their state motion could some force be acting on them can you guesses the direction in which the force must be acting on each case the force responsible for changing the state of motion of object in all these examples is the force of friction force का opposite काम करता है friction force it is the force of friction between the surface of the ball and the ground that bring the moving ball to rest. Similarly, friction between water and the boat brings to the stop once the rowing. The force of friction always acts on all the moving object and direction. Always opposite to the direction of motion है ना friction force always opposite and direction of the motion opposite direction of motion opposite force का opposite काम करता है since the force of friction arises due to the contact between surface it is also example contact force you will learn about the force you wondering whether it is essential for the agent applying for the on the object we always contact with non contact force में मैग्नेटिक फोर्स आ जाएगा कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्स में फ्रिक्शन और नॉन कॉन्टैक्ट में मैग्नेटिक फोर्स Do the magnet on the rollers begin to move when the object other magnet is brought near it? Does it always move in the direction of the approaching magnet? What do these observations suggest? Does it mean that some force must be acting between the two magnets? You have learned in class 6 that like poles of two magnets repel each other. And like poles two magnet repels each other, and unlike pole attract to each other, है ना. सेम पोल जो रहेगा रिपेल करेगा और अलग अलग पोल रहेगा तो वो अट्रैक्ट करेगा. अट्रैक्शन और रिपल्सन बिटवीन objects and can also seen another to pull and push to have the bring the magnet of contact observing the force between them. A magnet can exert a force another magnet without being the contact. तो एक मैग्नेट दूसरे मैग्नेट को जो है ये करता है, अट्रैक्ट करता है या रिपेल करता है बिना किसी कांटेक्ट के, है ना, बिना किसी कांटेक्ट. विदाउट बीइंग ए कांटेक्ट, बिना किसी कांटेक्ट. The force exerted by magnet is called example of non-contact force. उसी को non-contact force कहते हैं. Similarly, the force exerted by the magnet on a piece of iron is also a non-contact force. A straw is said to have acquired electrostatic charge after it has been rubbed with a sheet of paper. Such a straw is an example of a charged body. The force exerted by a charged body and another charged or uncharged body is known as electrostatic force. This force comes into play when the bodies are not in contact. When the electrostatic force, another example of non-contact force. Electrostatic force with non-contact. You will learn about the charge. Gravitational force. Gravitational force with non-contact force. You know that coin or pen fall on the ground when the sleeve after the hand leave the fruit also fall the ground when the detect from the planet. You ever wondered when the coin held your hand it at rest, as soon you release it is begin to move downwards. It clear that the state of motion coin undergoes change. Can you happen without acting of the force? Objects or things all fall towards the earth because the pull them. This force called force of gravity or just gravity. This is an attractive force or ये attractive force है. The force of gravity acts on all objects और ये all objects सभी objects से attract करता है. The force of gravity acts on all of us all the time without being aware of it. Water being to follow towards the ground as soon we have opened a tap. Water is river follow downward due to the force of gravity. हाँ, पानी रिवर में जो फॉलो करता है वो भी ग्रेविटी की वजह से. अब gravity is not a property of the earth alone. In fact, every object in the universe, whether small, large, stretch force every other objects. This force is known as gravitational force. अब आ जाते हैं प्रेशर. You have learned in class 7th that strong winds during a storm or cyclone can blow away even the rooftops. You also learn that winds and cyclones are caused by the differences in air pressure. Is there any relation between pressure and force? Let us find out. Try to push a nail into a wooden plank by its head. Did you succeed? Try now to push the nail by the pointed end. Would you have this time? Try cutting vegetables with blunt knife and them with a sharp knife with the eraser. Koi, did you get the feeling that the area over which the force is applied, for example, the point in the nail, place of the area task of the this external force area called the pressure force by area प्रेशर का फॉर्मूला क्या है प्रेशर बराबर फोर्स बटे एरिया प्रेशर बढ़ाएंगे तो एरिया घटेगा अगर एरिया घटेगा तो प्रेशर बढ़ेगा है ना फोर्स प्रेशर का फॉर्मूला फोर्स बटे एरिया तो हो जाएगा ये प्रेशर प्रोपोर्शनल टू फोर्स बटे एरिया प्रेशर प्रोपोर्शनल से एक दूसरे अपोजिट रहेगा तो एक बढ़ेगा तो एक घटेगा तो एक बढ़ेगा है ना जिसका एरिया कम होगा तो उसका उस पर प्रेशर ज़्यादा होगा और जिसका प्रेशर ज़्यादा होगा उसका एरिया कम होगा At this stage, we consider the number of force contributed to the surface of the pressure of the conflict. Note that the area is in the denominator in the above experience. So the smaller the area, larger the pressure on the surface for the same force. The area of the pointed end of the nail is such smaller than that is its head. The same force therefore produces a pressure sufficient to push the pointed end the nail into the wooden planks. Can you explain how the solder backs by the without the core of stripes and the not thin saw and the tools meant the cutting and pressure to razor drops. Do liquid and the gases also exert pressure? Do also depend on the area of the force and the band. Pressure exerted by the liquid and the gas. Pressure exerted by liquid and the gas. Note that the rubber sheet has been fixed on the side of the container. Do not the bottom tools belonging to the rubber sheet consider indicate the exert of pressure. Consider container into the first activity. Can you the liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container? Do you expect the pressure? Do they exert pressures on the walls of the container later found when the infinite balloon they do you have to the close its mouth the open when the opens mouth of the infinite balloon or suppose the balloon with holes video to table infinite of the right view rubber container to secondly find the exact pressure in all directions. Do you recall what happened? It is the air in a bicycle tube when it has punctured. The observation suggests the air exert pressure on the inner walls of an inflated balloon tube is opened to gas to exert the pressure on the walls of the container. Atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure. We know that there is air all around us they develop. Our air is known as the atmosphere. The atmospheric pressure extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth. Pressure exerted by the air is known as the atmospheric pressure. We know that pressure is force per unit area. If we imagine a unit area and a very long cylinder standing on filled with air, then the force of gravity and the force of cylinder atmospheric pressure. But how large or small is that atmospheric pressure? It is about magnitude. When you press the sucker, most of the air between its cup and the surface escapes out. The sucker sticks to the surface because the pressure of the atmosphere acts on pull. The sucker surface area applied force should be large enough so that overcomes the atmospheric pressure. This activity measures the idea of the magnitude atmospheric pressure on the forward possible with the sucker of the surface. Surface if there is no air at the between the sucker and the surface, do you give the pressure? The force due to air in the column of the height of the atmosphere area and the centimeter nearby the equal to the force of gravity on the object mass kilometer. Reason we know carried under the gravity is pressure inside our atmospheric pressure balance and pressure from outside. Otto von German scientist of the 7th invented pump to the exerted air vessels helped the pump demonstrated the greatly force pressure went to the two hollow metallic hemisphere into the pumps of the plug holes and hemisphere great the force pressure in the immediate part was pulled the hemisphere खत्म Force could be push or pull. A force arises due to the interaction between two objects. A force has magnitude as well as direction. Change in the speed of an object, direction, motion, and impact change its motion. Force acting on the object called change its motion, change of the shape. Force on the object without being the contact with it. Force as per area called pressure. Force per unit area called pressure. Force pressure बराबर force बटे area. Liquid and the gas exert pressure the wall their container. Pressure exert air around the known atmospheric pressure. Pressure exert the air around us known as atmospheric pressure. Liquid exert pressure on the wall on the container. Liquid exert equal pressure at the same depth. Liquid exert equal pressure at the same depth. Same depth में एक जैसा same pressure पड़ेगा सब पे. Wooden plates made liquid and Pressure, loads, pressure, differences, pressure. Rooftop also land within cyclone are the covered with differences, air pressures, between pressure force by area, force by area, for pressure inversely proportional to area. फ्रिक्शन फोर्स के अपोजिट जो काम करता है, ऑलवेज अपोजिट द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन का अपोजिट काम करता है फ्रिक्शन। तो कुछ है नहीं। मेक द ऑब्जेक्ट मूव फ्रॉम रेस्ट, चेंज स्पीड ऑब्जेक्ट इज मूविंग, may change the direction of motion of object, may bring about a change in the shape of the object, make out some of the objects, make out some or all of these effects. If a force may cause one or more of these effects, it is important to remember that move the axle from motion and change the direction of change. Muscular force necessary to bring contact object and stable rods. जब कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट रेस्ट में आ जाता है तो उसका स्टेट जीरो हो जाता है, स्पीड जीरो हो जाता है। टू ऑब्जेक्ट फोर्स, डिफरेंस बिटवीन टू ऑब्जेक्ट फोर्स मैग्नीट्यूड। स्पीड is zero, goal के पास decrease to speed, increase the direction of motion, the speed of the चलिए चैप्टर ख़त्म हो गया। हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर कल पढ़ेंगे। अभी बायो का नोट्स अभी 5 मिनट के बाद स्टार्ट करेंगे।